the TikToker who claims to be a vampire. The hell?
So I was like, I'm gonna have to have that conversation with him. I'm gonna have to tell him that I'm literally a vampire. People think that being a vampire isn't real.
Well guys, we are somehow back again. Today's video is one very similar to one I've made in the past, and if I'm being completely honest, I did not think there would be a take two. Things are getting kinda weird out here, people. Now, the video we're watching today is, well, it's an interesting one, but it's one that I feel like everybody's gonna be able to relate to. I feel like everybody knew at least one person throughout either elementary school or middle school who thought they were something that they just obviously were not. For example, in my elementary school, there was a girl who was thoroughly—
I mean, a couple people, but I don't think nobody in my elementary school that I was in my middle school, because I'm in high school now, hey, I don't think they want to be a vampire. They probably want to be a stanky ass, but they don't want to be no vampire.
convinced that she was a real-life witch. I think I've told this story before. She would like bring potions to school and throw them on people. Pretty sure it was just like fucking bleach. She would cast spells and shit. In hindsight, somebody probably should have told a teacher, but I mean, we were like 8, so we were afraid of getting a fucking curse cast on us. And then in middle school, I knew a couple who believed that they were both vampires. Like they bit each other and shit. They were really buying into the whole vampire life. I feel like that is a universal elementary or middle school experience. Whether it was a werewolf or an anime character, somebody at your school told you that they were something that you just knew they were not. And I've always wondered what happens to those people when—
I wish my friend would tell me he's a vampire. I'm blocking your ass. Fuck you mean you a vampire? Nigga, you basically sold yourself. Tell me you a fucking vampire. Vampire.
when they reach the age of, I don't know, like 15 maybe, and they're like, okay, maybe it's time to give up the Vampire Act. What happens to the people who decide, you know what? Actually, fuck that. I don't want to do that. I'm going to be a vampire forever. The video we're watching today answers that question. It's a video from my favorite YouTube channel, Truly, titled I Married a Real-Life Vampire and Lost My Friends, which honestly is a pretty crazy thing to go public about. This is a video interviewing a couple where the woman in the relationship claims to be a real-life vampire. Now, this is an interesting thing to claim because we all know that vampires are not real. And I know in my heart that these two people also know that vampires are not real. So really, it just opens up a lot of questions as to what the fuck are we doing here, people? Questions that probably will not be answered, but it's going to be fun to watch. So let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Today, I'm gonna do a deep feed on Sean.
First of all, this bitch is from Ohio. Is we surprised? Like, genuinely, is we fucking surprised?
Are you ready for me to take some of your energy?
Please.
All right, right off the bat, I love this. First of all, vampires don't feed off energy. Okay,
Yeah.
well, they might. I'm going to be honest. I'm not fully read up on my vampire lore, but I'm pretty sure their main thing is like blood. You know, I don't see a single hole in this guy's neck, so already I'm not buying it. Secondly, nothing says this is the home of a real-life vampire like an $8 Party City scythe in the back. It's getting
That's
spooky.
crazy.
There are different types of energy. There's ambient energy, which is the energy that's around people and not on them. And that's usually what I take. Big events where there's a lot of people and there's a lot of good hype. That energy is in the air, and I usually tend to just take it all in. And for like a deep feeding, which would be like me trying to take his energy, that would need consent.
Okay.
How is this nigga not laughing? I see that shit look at me. I'ma laugh, nigga. I see that bullshit look at me. All that shit you bought from Party City, girl. I'ma laugh at your ass.
So again, and real quick before I say this, I want to go on record saying that I'm a huge fan of consent, okay? One of my favorite things. Big consent guy. However, I don't think the average vampire is asking for it. I think that kind of goes against their, like, entire thing. I mean, have you guys not ever seen Twilight? They're pretty mean.
How do you feel?
Like I'm gonna sneeze.
We met about maybe 2-3 years ago at a steakhouse in downtown where we live. I think I learned about the vampire thing very early on.
I realized I was a vampire probably late 2021.
Okay, so let's break this down. What does that even mean? You realized?
Fuck you mean you realize? Do I need to go get a check and see if I'm a vampire? That was corny. Throwing tomatoes at my ass.
you were a vampire. Personally, I don't think the whole vampire gig is a product of self-discovery. I think you're just a vampire or you're not. Like, I don't think you can just wake up one day and be like, you know what? I think I might actually be a fucking vampire. Hold on. I think there's like a whole process, you know? I think you have to be like turned into one. I don't think there'd be any confusion on whether or not you are a vampire. Just say you're playing pretend because you like to, and that's fine. But saying you realized you were a vampire and now you're just a real life vampire, I don't think it works that way.
And that's kind of when I said it out loud. I always knew I was different. Like, did you think I was a crazy person when I told you I was a vampire?
No.
No? Okay, good.
This nigga lying.
Okay, so not really trying to just sit here and nitpick these people's lives apart, but I feel like
Nigga
that is
lying.
not normal, right? Like, even for a vampire, I
You
think
lying.
that would kind of take you back. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a vampire and you decide to trust somebody and tell them you're a vampire and they have no reaction, you're gonna be like, what the fuck are you then? I just told you that I'm a fictional creature who sucks the blood out of humans, and you're like, okay, cool. Are you free next Tuesday? No, something is wrong with you. You are something worse. Thinking that the person is crazy is the normal reaction, even if you do somehow eventually find out that they actually are a vampire.
I like to dress like a vampire as often as I possibly can because it's like a reflection of my soul.
I got all kinds of stuff. I've got like a vampire shirt. No?
No. Too hot.
People would say that I'm an energy vampire. I prefer to use the term psychic vampirism because that's like the fancy term for it, but I don't drink blood. That's not my thing.
So you're a poser. By definition, you're not a vampire if you don't drink blood. I think that is like the one defining characteristic of a vampire. I'm not trying to be mean here, but was this lady told that she was an energy vampire by somebody and she just rolled with it because she thought it was a good thing? An energy vampire is somebody who like sucks the energy out of another person, ruins social settings. It's a bad thing. You don't want to be an energy vampire. Is that what this is?
She likes blood sausage though.
I do like blood sausage. I think that blood sausage is chef's kiss. I'm gonna wear this dress.
Yo, we need to check her boyfriend laptop history because there's no way he just think this young normal. We need to check his laptop history.
Paired with this wig because this is the classic vampire Helly wig. So I think it's only logical that I would wear this. He knew the way that I dressed. He knew that I was on TikTok and did like all this vampire stuff there.
Oh my god, hold on, I've got to check something. Yep, alright, okay, it's just porn. Oh, I can't believe that is not where I went immediately. It's always porn when it's something like this. That's always the answer. Nobody believes they're a puppy girl or a cat girl or a vampire. It's literally just porn. It's cosplay porn. Oh my god. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not looking first. I didn't make it this far in the video before I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. I didn't know she did TikTok. Yep, okay, well that explains literally everything as it normally does. Fuck.
When I was on the front page of the paper, I thought that people were going to be a little bit nicer than they were, and I got a bunch of comments on Facebook of people saying I'm ugly, I'm not a real vampire and a sinner, and that I'm delusional.
We're leaving town because my wife is a
if they lie,
vampire.
I was tired of living a lie, pretending that I was normal, and I wanted to finally come out and say, this is me. I'm not a good Christian lady. I'm a freaking vampire, you know?
Okay, so real quick, if anybody from Truly watches this video, can you fire Mixer like today?
if I had a girlfriend and she told me she was a vampire, get your ass out of my house, girl. Fuck you mean a vampire? I don't care if you was together for 3 years. You a vampire? Girl, you basically sold your soul. Somebody you a vampire.
Holy shit, why is this interview bass boosted? Secondly, obviously it's not okay to call somebody ugly, ever. Especially not just because you don't agree with the way they live. So that's not cool, there's no justifying that. But being surprised when people call you delusional or say you're not a real vampire when you know deep down that you are not a real vampire, I mean, is that not expected? I've said this forever, if you decide to go public with this kind of shit, if you are willing to tell the world that you are a real life vampire, you should be ready for people to say, no, you actually aren't. Expecting people to
Hey, you sure your boyfriend don't fit in with the LGBTQ? Because I ain't sitting. I don't think he really like you. I think he fit in with the LGBTQ. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't fit in. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You swing the way you swing. I'm just saying.
You should be ready for people to say, no, you
I'm just
actually
saying, bro.
aren't. Expecting people to accept that and just roll with it, kinda silly.
Right.
And then this whole, like, oh, I'm not a good Christian woman, I'm a vampire. Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? I don't think anybody's giving you a hard time because you're not a good Christian woman. I think they're giving you a hard time because you're saying you're a fictional creature that does not exist.
Some stereotypes that I hate about vampires are that we don't like garlic. I love garlic. I have like a whole jar of spicy garlic and I'll just be like popping them in my mouth like they're pills, you know? Not really. I don't do pills.
Okay, so I'm starting to think that this
Shit, you do some. It might not be pills, but this bitch is a grown ass woman talking about she a vampire. Like, get that through your head. Like, the people that's watching videos, get this through your head. She's a grown ass woman talking about she's a vampire. Talking about she don't do pills. Bitch, you do perks.
individual does not know what a vampire is. This is like me saying I hate this stereotype about zombies that they like to eat people. It's not a fucking stereotype, it's a made up thing. It is an accepted fictional creature that we have all agreed does not like garlic or sunlight. It's not a stereotype because they don't exist.
I do know of a mutual friend, or perhaps ex-friend at this point, who had been seriously affected by her, I don't want to say witchcraft, but like your magic. When you got really mad at a certain somebody and you cast a spell and the next day they got into a car crash.
Yes! That's what you get.
Oh, okay, so you're not only Queen of Delulu Land, you're also just a terrible person. That's good.
Hey, if you're watching this video, hey, don't kill me. I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch ass 14-year-old. I'm a bitch. Everything I said, I'm a bitch.
You got upset with somebody, so you cast a spell on them and made them get into a car wreck? Like, let's just say for a moment that she really
crazy,
believes
bro.
she did that, and she's laughing about it. Not to armchair here, but doing shit like that, maybe that's why you felt different than other people, because they just didn't want to be around you, because you laugh at things like a person getting in a car wreck.
So today we're gonna go on a picnic, but I have to prepare my skin. The sun affects me in a pretty negative way. Like, I remember growing up, all my friends were always having fun, you know, running around in the sun, and I would always get headaches. And, you know, I would always get made fun of for having headaches all the time.
Yeah, that sounds like a totally normal thing kids make fun of people for. Also, you concluding that that means you're a vampire seems like the best course of action. You're probably correct.
The sun makes me very nauseous.
The sun is your biggest hater.
People think that being a vampire isn't real. They you know, mock me and say, one, two, and, you know, I want to suck your blood. And, you know, they think I'm just a character. And I think people get confused because my job is to live stream on TikTok as a fictional vampire. All these trolls online saying I'm fat and ugly and not a real vampire. No, it's the sun. It's the sun that does it for me.
Okay, I mean, obviously, again, it's not okay to say those things.
This bitch just blamed the sun. She just blamed the sun. What the fuck you gonna do? Make the sun get into a car accident?
To another person, but she says that people comment that she's not a real vampire and then doesn't expand upon it at all. Like, you've given me no proof that you do anything but just dress up kind of like a vampire. Like, what is qualifying you as a real vampire? You've given us nothing. I mean, not that I want you to prove that you're a real life vampire, because I don't think it's good for anybody that somebody actually tries to do that, but you really can't be too bothered by people not believing you are in fact a real life vampire if all you do is wear a wig and put on sunscreen. Not very compelling evidence. Well, guys, what do you think? Am I just being a hater? Am I not progressing?
Nah, bro, you're not being a hater, bro. If I was dating a girl and she said she was a vampire, get out my house. I don't care if you was the gorgeous girl I ever had. Get out my house. I don't care if your booty was good, nothing. Get out my house. You sold your soul. I'm a vampire. Let me eat your blood, Isaiah. My blood is for me, not you.